Now we are going to create an invoice. Select Sales, Invoice, and click the New button. Select a customer and the items. Change the quantity and unit price if needed. Click here and untick to hide some unwanted columns. Tick the classification box. You may change the classification code for each item here if needed. Click the More tab and make sure all the details under the My Invoice header are correct. For individual e-invoice, make sure that e-invoice is selected in the Submission option. Save the invoice and click Submit Sandbox e-invoice under the My Invoice button. Within seconds, this e-invoice has been validated and the system shows a green tick icon with a valid word. Details like supplier and buyer names, total payable amount, and the dates and times of issuance, submission and validation are shown as well. On the top right corner, there is a QR code for verification purposes. Click Browse to go to the invoice list. A 2D with green tick appears on the invoice just validated. The 2D indicates that it still has 2 days for cancellation. Back to the invoice, there is a green tick icon as well. Click Check Sandbox e-invoice status under the My Invoice button to check the validation details. Click Sandbox e-invoice log under the My Invoice button to check the logs. Now we create another sales invoice and submit it to the My Invoice portal. Again, the validation details and the 2D icon shown. Next, we open the invoice that was created previously, and we are going to cancel this e-invoice. Click Cancel Validated Sandbox e-invoice under the My Invoice button. Put the reason for cancellation. You may choose from the drop-down list, then click Initiate Cancellation. Within seconds, the e-invoice has been cancelled in the Invoice portal. An icon of a blank paper with a small cross is shown, and the date and time of the cancellation have been added to the details. Go back to the invoice list. The cancelled invoice now has a blank paper with a small cross icon that indicates it has been cancelled. Open a validated invoice, click the Preview button, and select any invoice format. In this invoice format, it has much information of the e-invoice and has a big QR code for verification purpose. You may preview it with other invoice formats. The QR code will be added as well after the invoice has been validated. You can export the invoice to PDF or other formats, or you may send it via WhatsApp in PDF or Excel format. Now we go to Company Profile and select My Invoice tab to log into the portal. Make sure you have selected the correct portal to log in. The reel is on the top, while the one for testing, Sandbox, is at the bottom. In the portal, select Submissions to view the submitted e-invoices. Click any one of them to view further. You may click the UIDA to view that particular e-invoice full details. Alternatively, you may click Documents on the panel to view the e-invoice full details. In this example, it is the cancelled e-invoice. Now we check the e-invoice details in the system against the ones in the My Invoice portal. We open the invoice IV0019 in the system and in the My Invoice portal. As you can see, all the details are exactly matched.